It's Ronnie, and welcome to May I Scraplift You, hosted by Crystal Barrett, who is Pineapple Papers here on YouTube, and I'm sure you all know her. And also, I figure you know everybody that I'm going to end up scraplifting. And today it is Janet Fritz, who is Galaxy Girl Creations here on YouTube, and this is the beautiful layout that I chose to scraplift. She did scraplift it too, but both are so different, and mine will probably be a little bit different too. And I'll be scrap lifting that picture of my great niece Isabella. And also I'll be using Vintage Indigo Gardens by Simple Stories. Instead of using branding strips like she did, and I believe Laura did, who's City Scrapper, I cut strips from the 6x8 paper pad. So mine aren't quite as long as theirs, so I won't have as much to cut off. They took and put all the strips on a smaller piece of paper. That way they could measure, mark, mark where to put their mixed media and just lay it right there on the layout. I have a couple of strips left over, which is pretty good because I'm going to end up using them. Um, the I inked all of them in bundled sage. Yeah, that's what I inked them in. And there I'm marking the spot, and part of mine will be hid, my mixed media, and part of it will be showing. I should have spread out just a little bit more or not took my pencil mark in quite so much. I'm going to use several colors of green for my background. I start out with the bundled sage, and then I go to the mowed lawn. Is that what it's called? I think so. And then I pull out, well, I know it's forest moss. It's the last one. And yeah, there's the forest moss. But I'll also pull out some Mr. Huey. So I will have several colors here. And it's all different shades of green. And y'all know how much I like green. So green one out for the background. I am mixing, with this one, I am mixing, is it cash money? I'm thinking it's cash money. I'm pretty sure it is with that. I'm inking my my paper, my stamp pad there is close to my heart, and it is Ponderosa Pine because I wanted to make sure it was darker than the other and showed up just a little bit better. There's some bright greens in my photo, so I decided to use the bright green, which is the cash money, with the modeling paste, and I'm using a script stencil, but it's not one of the ones that don't say anything. It's all about art. So there will be a few words about art. I am actually using my We Are Memory Keepers frame punch. I don't usually use it. I forget about it. But I wanted my picture to kind of sit down in there. I have the frames that I could have used, but I would have had to cut my photo down. And I really did not want to. Isabella is holding a little baby chick, and I either would had to cut off the baby chick and the top of her head or make my own frame. So I decided to make my own frame. And I'm rounding the corners with a 1/8 inch punch chomper, corner chomper thingy, because the inside of that frame is rounded and I wanted the two to match. I put foam tape on the back of it, and then that way it's going to set up above the photo and you can tell the photo sitting down in there, kind of like a shadow box. On Janet's beautiful layout, she did not use a doily, but I was wanting one, so I went ahead and put it on there. You can see it barely, but I do put stuff on top of it. Yeah, so part of it, you can't see it all, but I can still see it, and I know it's there, so I'm happy. And when I was putting my mixed media on, I didn't even think, and I put some right up there, and I just went ahead and went with it. I mean, I realized it as soon as I did it that it should have been in the bottom corner, but I already had it up there, so I decided to leave it up there. I am making a cluster at the bottom of my photo and up to the right. So it's going to be like a backwards L coming around the photo. And isn't that the cutest photo? You could see why I didn't want to cut off the top of her head or the baby chick either. Her hair is just so shiny and pretty and all those curls. Oh, gorgeous curls. And I wanted to make sure I got the whole thing. And so the best choice was to make my own frame. And the paper that I used is Craft Consortium. It's the wood grains. So there's several different wood grains in that paper pad. There's 30 pages in there. I punched out some Stampin' Up! Leaf punch. It's a leaf punch. It is discontinued. I believe you can still get it on eBay and stuff because I looked the other day for a friend, but that's probably about the only place you can get it. However, a lot of them are still new because a lot of the distributors still have them, so they're selling them on there after the fact. I am using some of the ephemera on my layout, and that little clipboard looking thing says love you forever, and then my sticker says this is now, and I'm putting a, well, it's a kind of a purplish color ticket on there, and it's going to match the flowers. And I'm just layering everything on there and adding greenery. Just because y'all know I like greenery, I'm adding a little more with my punch. And I did ink everything in advance. So the leaves are all inked, not linked, inked. Can't even talk. But yeah, I'm just working on the cluster down there, and I'm adding foam tape under parts of it, and then other parts I'm just gluing down to whatever I'm laying them on top of. You see my title over there? I put it on cardstock earlier just to make it a little sturdier because I do plan on putting foam tape under it. And if you all have ever had the ephemera and the titles and stuff with simple stories, you would know that it's pretty thin. So if you put foam tape on it looks bumpy. So I put the cardstock on there so it wouldn't look quite as bumpy. And at first I thought I might put it straight across the bottom. I left enough room where I could get my title there. But then I decided to cut the bloom off so they'll be on two different rows there. And I like that a lot better. It seemed to nestle around the corner of the photo. And I thought the title went pretty good with Isabella, learning about the little animals on the farm that day. But while I am working on that cluster in the upper left-hand corner, I want to mention that down there below you will find links to everybody else that is doing the May I Scraplift You Hop for the month of May. And I will be doing it on Sundays and maybe a couple of other days too. There was a few that I wanted to scrap lift that I had seen their layouts and already fell in love with them and thought I'd pick those to scrap lift. And this one I had seen Laura do it and loved it. And then I saw Janet do it and loved it. So I decided it was about time I did it too. And let's see. Oh, in my upper cluster there, I did have to cut my little banner in half. It wasn't quite as long as I wanted it. And then I used a sticker and I used my little powder tool and powdered the back of it so that it would not have the sticky there where it get, once you put it in sleeves sometimes, it'll kind of curl around because of the sticky. And if you put the powder on there, it won't. And I decided that I needed a couple of more things, so I'm getting a couple of more stickers. One says happy thoughts and the other says memorable, and I will be adding them to my cluster too. But yeah, it is a cute little photo of Isabella holding that baby chick. She's being so very careful, and she's very interested in it too. and she was on a farm, and she even got to hold a little bunny. But there was a piece of ephemera that had a little bird in it, so it is to the right of the photo, right at the top of that cluster. And it don't look exactly like the baby chick, but it's what I had in this collection to use. But that's it. That's my layout, and it was super fun to make. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. And there is the finished layout with the one to the left that Janet did. So you can see I sort of kind of, except for the goof of putting the cluster in the upper left instead of the bottom left. Bottom, yeah, left, yeah. That's where I was planning on doing it and didn't. And there's my cluster with my little bird with its head poked up looking around at the flowers up above him. And there's the bottom with the title, and I cut it apart and put it on there that way instead of having it all the way across. And my mixed media with all the different colors of green. But yeah, if you leave a comment down there below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so much. And thank you all for the wonderful comments that you leave. They really make my day. And thank y'all for watching my video. I appreciate that too, because I know there's plenty others out there you could be watching. But have a happy scrappy week. Have fun hopping around and checking out all the layouts. Bye.